Hello guys, Destro here from Farmers Market. I wanted to clarify the reason for these re-uploads of the podcast. Essentially, these function more as regular episodes versus live VODs. Since we used to record them just as regular episodes, these stay more on the question topics. They're labeled with timestamps, and we removed some of the more context-heavy stream chat stuff. It seems to make for a better audio-only experience, so that's why we have these edited versions. I also wanted to go ahead and thank our channel members at the beginning this time with an extra special thanks to our wildcard member, Yoshisona. Thank you for watching and enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, this is episode 5 of the Calling Card podcast. As usual with me, Destro, and Watts. Two of us are the Farmers Market with Slick Rick, and then our guests today are Ceejay and Earphoneidot. Yeah, so if you guys haven't tuned in before, typically it's me, Watts, and Rick. But today we're joined by Ceejay and Earphoneidot. Ceejay does the funny poll videos, poll streams, which are always really entertaining. And Earphoneidot you've definitely seen around if you watch any of the SOS and Nightmare Gateway videos.
And sometimes do some really stupid videos.
Oh yeah, and the trivia stuff, which I like. Yeah, I like those too. Yeah, so we're gonna ask a mix of different questions today and talk over the 2 patches, which is supposedly one big patch. Do you feel like the character banner changes will continue into 4.0 since they've essentially changed how we perceive these characters, right? Because Mont, the issue was, okay, Mont comes out and then Kasumi comes out and kind of devalues her as a character, but now we're seeing this Mont, meta, whatever you want to call it, extend into the Kasumi patch, which just keeps getting pushed down. So I'll have Ceejay start with that question.
You're really starting this off breaking my heart, aren't you?
yeah. Well, the Kasumi stan, I have to get his take on it, of course.
I don't think they're going to continue changing banners around. I don't see any reason why they would. The only thing I can see them moving some stuff around for is Annie. I can't imagine them that this becomes like a very, very typical thing. I feel like, from what I feel like, the 4.0 characters, I feel like are placed in a pretty specific order. I mean, then again, I felt the same about the 3.whatever characters, so maybe I'm they're thinking about it too much, but I can't imagine that. Like, because in that case, I imagine that people are going to think like, oh, they're pushing back Makoto Yuki, and I just can't see them doing that. Because the outrage would be insane. Like, even more than Sumi, I think. Yeah. So I can't imagine them moving anything around with those patches, to be honest. Because then also you have to move around like Tartarus, which is also insane.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, if like, from like how, because like I don't play global, but I do keep up with global news. So like, from what I think, there is a chance of they moving up the P3 banner. In my opinion, there is a chance they move it up because if they want to keep Orange as the Annie unit, they need to find the patches to fit in the gap, because the Annie is in late June.
Yes.
Yeah. So like they need to find patches to fill it up, and I doubt that they would just find some random filler patch for it. So like there is a chance of like P3 character getting moved up earlier as well. So like. I think they would change it up for 4.0, like the banners. Like I don't think after Annie they'll like majorly switch things. There's one like sequence that I would love them if they change it up, which is the Makoto Yuki into Yukari into Akiko patch.
Okay, yeah.
Just because of Tartarus. Tartarus is a good game mode. Don't get me wrong. 3 patches in a row is too much.
Yeah, and that mode has to like carry those patches essentially.
Yeah, you see them swapping Barry and Akiko around, or like something like that.
Rick, I want to let you go ahead and talk and give your thoughts on the banner order, whether you think it's going to continue to change or if they're sort of going to get back on track with 4.0.
I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't really know what you could change, considering the outside of maybe Anj, kind of like what Earphone was alluding to, you move up Makoto Yuki to like 4.0, I guess. But outside of that, the P3 stuff is so tied into like actual game modes and like fairly well tied into, I don't know, like the early part of 4.0, that I don't really know how you would move them around effectively without kind of like screwing up the entire game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they're doing it now, really. I understand like the Mont meta thing, but like well, now Rin is like going to be kind of dead. So I don't know. It's a lot. I don't get it, but I don't think they're going to change anything. But then again, basically everything I've said for the last like 4 weeks has they've immediately done the opposite like 2 days later. So
Yep.
I'm not going to say anything anymore.
Yeah, it's so tough to predict what they think is a good change. And lastly, Watts, what do you think about the? I know me and you have talked about this like a million times, but
I think I figured out what they're doing. No, I haven't.
Okay.
But that's my click.
Conspiracy theory.
This is an official farmers market endorsed take, by the way.
No, it's not. So currently. Oh, hold up, brief break. Mark Delight, thank you for becoming a channel member.
Yes, thank you very much.
So, the anniversary as it stands, the unit would be Akihiko. That's not happening. So I've thought of 2 ways they could change this. They could either push Anj back, which in doing that, I feel like there's no way that they bring Makoto Yuki forward, because dropping the first part of the P3 and the next part of the story in one patch is like way too much content. There's no way they're going to do that. They're like, the next patch is going to be dead or something. So my 2 ideas are they could either bring somebody forward to like fill in the 4.0, or they could just like not release a character and give us a super rerun finally. And that could be what they do. What they could do is they could swap Akihiko and Barry and make Barry the anniversary unit. Which, not Anj, but it's still like a bit more of like a bigger character that people are looking forward to than Akihiko.
Or we could do the same thing that we do in like every single podcast so far is they do a special all-at-once new character again?
Speculate
Go back to that conversation.
Hey, I mean, last time we did it, it actually happened.
That is true. Elizabeth confirmed.
Elizabeth confirmed on this podcast.
Yeah,
officially endorsed.
I'm calling it now.
4 patches of Tartarus in a row.
Yeah,
I'm gonna smash my head into a wall.
Dude, that's been one of my nightmares. Is I've glazed Tartarus so hard because I've played it on TW quite a bit, and it's like
a good game mode.
Yeah, but like, can the whole game carry it for like weeks on end? You know, like it's.
No.
I hate the idea of getting sick of it because I like it so much. Like I think it's everything Metro of Desire was trying to be and more, and the idea of it getting old, it kind of feels bad.
As the person who like actually went through all the Tartarus, like even the max difficulty.
Yeah.
Like was trying to do that on like in the first week of like each patch on that 3 in a row. It was painful.
Yeah.
It was painful. Like it was just like what? 9 weeks of just Tartarus.
Yeah, that's no game mode is gonna be able to carry a game for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially not any of the other ones. Like, can you imagine Metro trying to carry the game for that long? Oof.
And it doesn't even need to mention the difficulty.
Yeah.
Of like, can I swear? Because that's what I.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. As long as it's not excessive, I think it'll be fine.
Like the bullshit they do at the like second last boss, where it's just a slap in your face on like, yeah, both of them are resist to fire while your main DPS is going to be Makoto Yuki. Like,
oh, so when you say painful, you mean it's actually difficult?
It is difficult.
Okay,
It is difficult when they did
If
it.
Global doesn't dumb it down.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
Like imagine like go through an hour of Tartarus and then you just need to restart the whole thing.
Oh my
because of
gosh.
that mini boss. It's not even the last boss. The last boss is way easier than that mini boss.
That is interesting.
It's just really painful for that mini boss specifically at that point.
Yeah. That's really interesting to me, just because playing this game, just all the other content being so like not really having to use your brain, and it does sound like something I'm still excited for, but I can understand like losing. Yeah, because I played a little bit on TW, but of course I don't have a built up account and I don't know what I'm doing, so I've tried going into those challenger rooms and just getting completely destroyed, and it's like, man, I just died in P5X. Like, kind of feels good. It like never happens, it feels like. But As far as my thoughts go, I mean, I kind of agree with different parts of what you guys have said. I think that my biggest thing is I think changing the character order too much in 4.0 is a mistake, because to me it seems like 4.0 feels like where Blackwing started to figure out how to work the characters into the patches better. So I feel like changing things around in 4.0 is a little dangerous unless they know exactly what they're doing, and so far they haven't really shown that they know what they're doing moving the patches around, you know. Oh, thank you very much, Melissa, for becoming a channel member. It's greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's kind of, does anyone have any more thoughts on the character order changing thing? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit on the last podcast, but it was the first time it had happened, so we kind of had some doubts, like, it's just a quick swap, and then Kasumi, right? But
the thing about this conversation is I can see anything that anyone said happening, and that's like the weird part is like I can see them doing nothing. I can see them moving everyone. I can see them just taking one unit and banishing them to 5.0. Like I can see them doing absolutely anything, which is
I thought you said Aegis.
Yeah, Aegis, yeah.
No.
Where is Aegis?
Aegis drop for 4.0. That's what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Jeez, the Annie unit.
They start with the answer DLC, and then
No, please no.
Aegis into Menace, then Makoto Yuki.
Yeah.
I get it now.
We have the Aegis card set right now on TW.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So what my theorizing for that is after the dog, it will be Aegis, and then it will be the Annie character, because that just makes sense.
Yeah, and we were talking. Me and Watts were talking about how weird it is. Like, they do like 1, 2, 3 P5 or P3 characters, and then 1, 2, and then just one by itself. So I would like it. I mean, I know it means they have to do Tartarus like over and over, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe
it's just they knew that Junpei would be a dead patch for most people.
Yeah.
So they just dropped Junpei.
Just threw him in there.
Sweet. Yeah.
So for the chapter 3, the final part of chapter 3, I know it's probably been a while since you played that, IDOT, but for the rest of you guys, we'll start with Rick.
Yeah. So in terms of like the actual story, it's funny because I kind of thought, like, I forget how they did it, but there was like a scene a little bit before like that last cutscene, like the animated cutscene, where the weird heads or whatever kind of looked like the homeless guy, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. He kind of looks like these heads, and then I was like, oh wait, it's obvious, like, yeah, he is the heads.
Yeah.
And then it like takes a turn, and spoiler alert, I guess, he just straight up murders it.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Nothing to do with the metaverse or anything. He just slimes him out in the street.
Yeah. I was like, all right. And then that was it. It kind of just ended after that. I was like, all right, well, I guess I can't wait to see where this goes. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not a fan of like the teleporting doors and Lufel telling me like, oh, you know, we should try to go through a different door, and then we come back to this door and it's open, and it's like, all right, bro, like just let me explore this so I can be done with it.
And I'll get my thoughts on it out of the way early, because I think I'm going to be the only one to defend it. It does feel kind of lazy, but I think it would not be nearly as bad if they actually went through the effort of filling out the map for it, because the map doesn't change no matter what door you go through, and I think that's the biggest like pitfall of the final part to Palace 3. But yeah, Earphone, it felt like you had a lot to say. I was thinking you'd be like, oh, I don't remember, because it's been so long since I played it, but it feel like you have some thoughts on it.
I watched Ceejay played it, so
yeah,
it's definitely a refreshment.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just gonna hand it to Ceejay because I'm gonna accidentally spoil something because there's so much to link to the future story about the ending.
All right, Ceejay, what are your thoughts on? I'm sure you just finished it here recently, so what are your thoughts on the end of Palace 3 and the cinematics attached to it?
I feel like I can tell like Akashi getting slimed is genuinely like there's something else going on there. I don't think bro just actually slimed him out in the middle of the street for no reason. Like, hey, I choose this one. Like I think there's something going on there. I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, at least I hope there is. But with the palace design, and like I know a lot of people are annoyed by it. Yeah. I kind of like that it was taking me a while, because I don't I don't like going into like one of the main gripes I have even with normal story progression is that, you know, when you're doing main story, you have the exclamation points telling you where to do. I wish those were disableable. I hate doing puzzles and it feels like I'm not doing a puzzle. And if they made it super easy, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it. I just wish like the first part where you're going through like layers of the first floor, I wish it was more apparent what floor you were on. Like I wish there was like, other than just like, I don't know. Sometimes it's just so easy to get turned around. I just wish there was a little bit more direction. That's really I actually kind of like the multiple layer door thing.
Yeah, especially if you put the game down. That was my biggest problem, because I finished the boss and then came back and put the game down for a little bit, or went to work on a video or something. And I came back and I was like, I don't know where the hell I am. And Lufel's like, let's try going through a different door. And I tried going through a different door and I'm like, that doesn't help me. I don't know where I am. So it's very dependent
that's
on
why
like,
I recommend it.
Yeah, it's very dependent on you like doing all of it in one sitting. I feel like. Watts, what are your thoughts? And I'm gonna start the next question on you, Watts, because I feel like I've had you go last every time.
So to start off, I loved what they did, where they had you, all right, run through this small corridor. That's the story. Now the palace, completely separate. I like having the actual exploration aside from the story, so that I didn't have that stupid exclamation point saying, go this way, ignore all this, go this way. But the minimap, oh my god, the minimap's so bad. I enjoyed the actual exploration of the palace. That was a lot of fun, but the minimap didn't make it better. And then also, like, the fact that it was kind of just, like, off to the side was a little awkward. Like, it was just like, now that we've done the story, go out and talk to this guy that you saw while driving by. And then that's how you progress. And then the last section, where it just was a room full of treasure chests, if you didn't take the teleport back, then you had to like figure out that you were supposed to just go talk to him, and that was how you were supposed to get back. That felt like them putting it out of the way was the correct move, but it also, they didn't do it well. But yeah, that's pretty much what all I have to say about it. And the fact that, like, holy shit, the story, what the fuck going on, you know?
I was very surprised that they didn't make Akashi dying like a metaverse thing.
Yeah,
or like,
I'm surprised you didn't get,
yeah, we stole your desire, now you're gonna jump off a bridge or something, like that kind of, because Lufel's always talking about like, oh, if you actually kill the shadow, then they're gonna die in real life. So I thought it was gonna be a thing of kind of like, I hope everyone's played Persona 5 by now, but Dad, I thought it was gonna be a situation like that by now.
Or like the principal.
Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah.
And also, like, notice this as we were talking about it. Akashi had what happened to him, what happened in the like alternate world. Yeah. That he did. So there might be like some storyline reason for that. Like the flat.
I wish I could discuss this.
That tells me I'm right. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. No. I feel like I hit on something right there. All right. But all right, yeah. Before we get too into speculation.
I wish I could discuss this.
To me, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, because I know I even like push Akashi slander a lot, just for funny. But I low-key think Akashi's like a half like decently written character. Is that a hot take? Because I know a lot of people sit there and they're like,
a lot of people don't like him.
A lot of people do not like Akashi.
Okay. Here's my take on that. Okay, so would you guys say Kamoshida is a good or a bad villain? As in, like, he's written in a way that makes you actually hate him, even though he's not a real person.
That's basically the way I bring it back, because I feel like you have to hate a good villain.
Yeah, because because a bad villain would be a Subway Slimer, the one everyone loves to meme on. It's not believable. It's not believable that he actually blames the little girl for, his career's failure. Like, that's an actual bad villain. The next thing I want to talk about, kind of shifting gears, talking more about going back to, I guess, the meta. Matoi, just as a character, personally, I feel like she was kind of fed to the wolves this patch. Just in regards to balancing, in regards to her not getting her true A6 for some reason, all that stuff. Watts, do you have any? We'll start with you. Do you have any thoughts on her as a character? Do you feel like she really deserved any improvements? Do you feel like she's kind of in a spot where she could get better later? What do you think?
She's definitely going to get better later because like she's kind of homeless right now because like there's like no team that wants her. If you look at the bosses right now, we have this like awkward mix of like the single target stuff that's still for Windvast, and then like this Yusuke boss that like absolutely does not want like her. I guess she's like a little bit of an improvement for some people, but like you really don't want her on it. And like even if we were to get like Vishnu for the like second half of SOS, like On's technical multiplier is so low compared to Rin's that she doesn't really work there. Well, she does, but she doesn't like work as well as she should. Like she's definitely going to get better. They really did her dirty this patch.
Rick, what are your thoughts? I know you've had a chance to use her a little bit. As actually maybe not, but
no, I actually have not had a chance to use her because there's no content and there's no teams that want her, like Watts just said.
So. A single target.
Yeah, and I tried like one run on the SOS and it was like, well, this is clearly like not what this is intended for.
Yeah.
And the funny part is like, it would have made I'm a broken record because everyone knows like I don't love what they've done the last couple of weeks with the characters and stuff, but like wouldn't it have made more sense, kind of like what happened with Mont and Wind, where you get the DPS, they're really good, and then they release like the support for them and they get even better, and you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome, I need this character, rather than like, hey, here's a character that works with no one, and then her banner is going to be over by the time the character she works with comes out. And then
you're not gonna believe
for the first one. Then
you're not gonna believe the character order on the other servers. yeah, exactly. Like it's Rin first. I don't really understand the point of releasing such a like mono support before the actual DPS. But Earphone, I know you mostly play on TW, but what are your thoughts on them releasing?
Okay, I'm just gonna answer Mark first because in the chat I saw that.
Yeah. To make it a little more broad, because that's something I'm interested in. Is there a point where Rin is just better with some of the strategists you have on TW, or is Matoi just forever her best support?
I can check the leaderboard for SOS right now because her boss is up.
Oh, okay.
On TW right now.
That's funny.
I'm gonna just do that.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Leaderboard, second half. Yeah, I'm seeing Junpei and Katayama more.
Okay.
And actually, Matoi.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
That Katayama has taken her place because, like,
that is interesting.
That's just a different sab.
Knocking down is a massive factor.
Okay.
Increase your score by a lot.
That makes sense. Junpei, and I know this is talking about a character that comes way later, but Junpei seems really good.
Only with fire teams.
Yeah,
only with fire teams,
which I think is kind of fine for that meta they're in. Granted, he's kind of narrow, but
I have the list for it. Like from my memory, it is unironically the funniest thing I've ever seen in this game. A2 Junpei with the fire team is better overall than Summer Marion as a buffer.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And A2 Junpei outside of a fire team is worse than A0 Twins or like A1 Twins.
Nuts. Yeah.
So like the difference is night and day.
Yeah. So they have very
funny
specific use cases they want for him then. Just to close out this question, Ceejay, your thoughts on Matoi?
I'm kind of at a point where I mean, Earphone can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but are there any like actual debuffers in TW that actually like really hold up, or no, like outside of a very specific niche? Yeah, exactly my point. Like I just feel like no matter, I think that's why they gave up on her, because they noticed like that role is like borderline fodder at this point, which sucks.
The thing is, I'm kind of disagreeing on that.
Mm-hmm. This actually goes into another question, and I'll just let you start on that question. We have a question that like pairs along with that. Generally, it seems like strategists are just better for almost everything in the game. But as that gap continues to widen, do you think debuffers will ever have a place in this game where they can actually compete with strategists? Because I feel like it's where you're going with that. No.
Yeah, that was where I was going, because if you're looking at just debuffer wise, Matoi doesn't actually need any buffing. She is the win fast of debuffer, as like win fast in buffer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't like, as a debuffer, you don't really need to touch Matoi for a bunch, because she is going to be the best debuffer for a while. It's just the debuffer role that is the problem, and not like they're not giving enough buff into Matoi, the character specifically.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think they changed with? This is kind of going off into the future a little bit for people who aren't familiar with TW. But basically, they added Mitsuru to the game as part of the C's team, and she's classified as an assassin, but the game treats her as a saboteur in like most other ways. So what do you think they changed for her to make her, like, I've seen that she's supposed to be best in slot for the Makoto Yuki team in certain scenarios. What do you think they changed there to make a saboteur finally work? Because it feels like, I don't know, it feels like they almost always get undercut.
Not a debuffer. Technically, she's not a debuffer.
Yeah.
It's like the main deal with Mr. is still the follow-up damage she does is really consistent, does a lot of damage. Especially like right now, pairing with Pinky, which is the newest unit on TW if you don't know. She does like 2 mil follow-up damage on SOS.
That's insane.
So like mainly like, yeah, the debuffing side is good, but the main reason why we use her is still that she does consistent follow-up. One, the follow-up damage is actually really good. That's mainly it. Like the debuffing is just nice to have.
So it's almost like they had to turn her into like a debuffer that's a sub DPS that brings numbers that are so good that you kind of have to bring her, because they're just like boosting, they're like inflating your score.
Yeah, in a way.
What do you think just in general, Watts, on strategists versus debuffers and how they can get that to work, or if it's possible?
Yeah, I think that issue kind of got super amplified by the fact that the twins exist for us. So we have like an extra really good set or buffer early that it just throws like our balance out of order a little bit. So it's rough. And then I don't know. It would take like like system changes to the game, and I think like one thing like Earphoneidot mentioned earlier how Katayama's thing is that she does the knockdowns in addition to the debuffs being like a thing that she provides. I think they need to make it to where they provide more than just their debuffs to make them good.
Yeah. And it's weird because it feels like strategists can do the strategist buffer thing, and then they can just kind of do whatever too. Like they can just arbitrarily raise a stat by X amount. They can just put this on an enemy. You could consider some of the stuff that Winvast does with her skill 1 as like a debuffer thing, but she's still categorized as a strategist, and then just of course provides insane crit mult buffs to the team. So that's her main draw. But
just to put it out there, Katayama when released was terrible.
Okay.
Was terrible.
Did they have to buffer?
She was terrible. Yeah, they massively buff her.
Okay.
And like Luce's patch.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's good now. But when she launched, it was like launch Haru, which was terrible.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
You might as well to not use her at all.
Wow, I've heard the ailment accuracy on her was like targets were insane back then. Rick, what do you think on the whole strategist versus saboteurs discussion?
Yeah, kind of what these guys already said. It's just a more limited role in general, but I don't know if that's like necessarily a bad thing. Like if the saboteurs are basically just going to be like, hey, here's this DPS that's good, and then if you want a character that makes them better and that team slightly better, then here's a character that kind of just works with that team. I don't know if that's like the worst thing in the world, but they have the power to like do anything they want. They make the game, right? So like if they wanted to make a saboteur like a DPS that scales really nicely on specific debuffs and then make a saboteur that does those debuffs or create some new effect. Like they can do that whenever they want. So it's just a matter of, I guess, if they actually want to do something like that.
Yeah. CJ, thoughts on Strategist versus Saboteur? I almost started yapping there.
You're fine. I feel like I'm just gonna keep going off of what I was talking about before because my thought kind of got a little sectioned. But the as of the role, like it's weird because like Saboteur as itself like is not the best like as a role. Like you see Saboteur and you think, but it's just a very niche role. And I think a game that going into a different game that I think handles it really well is Star Rail, because they have some supports that are very general that'll just work no matter where you put them, and then they have some supports that are very, very, very sectioned off into like the premium version of the team, which I've never hated. Like I think it's good having some like the Windvast, the Chords who you can use with certain characters, and then have, because it's very obvious debuffers are just made to be used with very, very specific teams. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like, because like you guys were saying, like you want to pull, well, tell right now on global, if you want to pull Rin, you want Matoi, which is like really her use case. But I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing that they're more niche, but I guess the problem becomes the gap of how big it is between them and the Strategists, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah, I think what I'm wanting, and this sounds like a crazy demand, but I think what I'm wanting is more of like how Cord is in 4.0, where Cord isn't this, she's still very good, don't get me wrong, but she's not this crazy, broken, insane character that can go on absolutely any team. But in 4.0, it seems like you're still using her for your Kasumis, for your berries, for these characters with really good highlights. They see a big benefit with Cord on their team. And I kind of want to see, almost like what Earphone was talking about with Junpei. Like, I want to see those teams where it's like, yeah, if they do fire stuff, this is going to be one of the best characters on their team. Like, it doesn't matter how good the strategist is or what the strategist is buffing. The benefits these characters provide are, bringing value to them. Because I've just seen so many people just completely writing off Matoi in our meta already. And granted, we don't have Rin to really get the numbers on how much she does. But yeah, I would just like to see a little more balance in the role, I think is my main issue. It just feels like strategists are far and away the best like class in the game. And then saboteurs, get their like onesie twosies teams. But yeah, anyone have any? Yeah,
fix that. I'm
What's
hoping
that?
the dog fix that. I'm assuming the dog will be a debuffer.
Okay, yeah, and do you think, so my theory was, they just added, and we're going to talk about on Mindscape Core a little bit later, but they just added Joker's Mindscape Core. Do you think that that Kormaru will have something to do with that? Like, potentially being on his team now?
Okay, I need to recheck the core for Joker.
Okay.
Oh, there might actually be something to do with Joker.
Yeah, I was thinking he could be like a curse spread debuffer and replace
Because
Rin.
the second passive depends on how many debuffs the enemy has. So there is a chance of actually Kormaru being a debuffer that just put on like a lot of debuffs on enemies and then activating this passive. There is a chance.
Okay.
But to be honest, we don't even know what the role is for sure.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, just a shot in the dark.
Speculations.
Yeah. So, we know we did not get the rerun we thought we were going to get. And I guess we could still... Yeah, I guess we could still get one for Chinese New Year. But if we did get one, what would be on global? What would be your most wanted rerun character? So maybe you're getting an additional awareness for them, or maybe you're missing one and you didn't pull them. Ceejay, I want to start. I feel like I haven't started with you yet.
I already know that.
Okay.
Wait, what do you think I'm gonna say, Earphone?
You're definitely getting Twins A1. Not even a question.
Yeah, that.
Wednesday one. Okay.
Yeah,
you just
I
feel
need,
like-
I need that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Yui, but he actually got my answer right before I did. If I saw Twins on a rerun banner, I'm like, I'm going in instantly. I can't take it anymore.
You
That
just
brings
feel like
up
you're
a
missing
good
go ahead,
question,
sorry.
though. Because how are they going to handle twins with rerun?
Twins. That's what I was gonna say. Do you really think they would put Twins back on rerun this early?
And like, I know that
No.
when like 4.0 comes out, they give they give out a selector that has characters up through Mont Swan on it. So are the twins going to be on that? Like,
Okay, I have.
It's a good question.
So
Mhm.
when that ticket dropped on TW, it's based on versions, not on characters.
oh,
Okay.
So it's really iffy on if twins will be in it or not. More like will Mont be in it or not?
Yeah.
Because it's based on version numbers. So technically, it will be up to 2.7 because at the if twins didn't happen, then it will be Mont, right? So because the ticket is based on version numbers and not like up to what character. So hopefully the twins will be in it.
Since you're already talking Watts, do you want to go into, if we did have a rerun, let's just assume all the characters up to the ones,
Like,
we've
up
had released
to,
are...
up to Futaba. Is that what we're saying? Like,
Yeah,
like we were
yeah.
assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably do Smoko A1 because like it's the only like seemingly good awareness that I have. But I'm also like kind of hesitant to do that because I'm not sure how much more use we're gonna get out of her.
Exactly.
That
yeah.
I think I might just like wouldn't pull anybody if I'm being completely honest. Like
I feel like they're gonna push out this rerun so far that by the time we get it, no one's really, unless like Ceejay said, unless they put the twins in there, I don't think really that many people are gonna touch it unless it's brand new players that don't have like mainstay characters like Cord and
oh yeah, I think if
Futaba and
like
Haru.
you don't have a Futaba yet, go ahead, definitely pick her up on a rerun. But like
Absolutely.
for somebody who has all the good characters,
Yeah.
I mean, I might like pick up a Mesa or something because I don't have him yet. But
Sorry,
If you
he's
get-
not a girl. He's not allowed to be on the rerun. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
well, and like the other thing about the rerun is that they're kind of just like giving it to us piece by piece, where they're like they just gave us a
Yeah.
Cord rerun, they're giving us the summer units. It's like we're getting them like getting it like piecemeal to the point where like
to
we-
avoid giving us the rebate currency.
true,
is
yeah,
why
we
it seems like.
we should be getting that rebate currency for pulling the
Yeah,
rerun, but
it feels, for me, it feels so much better pulling on those rerun banners if you're getting that currency where you can buy Everlasting Incense and the Space Selectors. If we get one now, it's gonna feel bad almost no matter who you pull, unless it's like Futaba or Haru, or if you don't have Cord, higher awareness Cord or weapon,
Or Yui.
Or Yui, yeah, of course. Oh my gosh, how could I forget Yui A0? But Rick, I feel like I haven't got around to you quite yet. I know you don't really pull A1s, but let's say if you're going to, who would you kind of put at the top of that list?
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. Like you said, I don't really care as much about the awarenesses. Typically, I just want the characters, like like a filthy collector that I am. But I guess just like the better characters, right? Like the more useful characters, Cords, Futabas of the world. Unless, of course, they do like a twins thing, and then in which case, I feel like you just have to like pull the twins again, just like on principle, no matter
Yeah.
what awareness they're at. But they're not coming. I have a feeling they're going to keep the twins out of like everything except for like whenever they do another anniversary thing. I think that's kind of going to be what they do with the twins, unfortunately, and people are going to be really upset about it when they're not in the pool for whatever selectors or reruns we get. But I guess who knows? Maybe they don't. But that's kind of the feel I have on it.
I kind of agree with you guys. I think, I mean, Smoko A1 has looked very it's looked very practical to our guild for a while now, but it feels like one of those things at this point we just kind of missed out on and, kind of have to move on from, because I'm not sure how much longer she'll stay super relevant in our kind of guild boss SOS rotation. But yeah, she has a great A1. So yeah, moving on from the rerun question. I saw somebody asking this earlier. I'll kind of pair their question and my question into the same sort of question, but for global.
Super question.
Yeah, super question. Almost like the super rerun that we didn't get. But anyway, so do we think the game global will get Slowdown eventually? Because everyone said, for the longest time, I saw so many people say, oh, 3.0. 3.0 is going to be the beginning of the end of these, two week, 18-day patches. This is when we move to 21-day patches, just over and over. And then, 3.0 came and went. We got a new patch that wasn't in any other version, the simultaneous patch with the twins, and it really seems like there's no signs of them lengthening the patches, but eventually, right, you have to catch up eventually. So what do you guys think? How will they handle that? Or do you think we'll just keep staggering and then putting an event in to kind of keep us away from ever catching up to where CN, TW, KR are kind of located? I'll start with Earphone for this question.
Okay. I hope they don't catch up, I'll be honest.
Yeah?
It's nice
Why is
to have
that?
future vision.
Okay.
It's always a good thing for you guys to have future vision, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what, with the 3-week patch cycle, they started doing that since 4.0. Yeah, I think most people know that already. But the original incentive for them to do it is they said they want to decrease, quote unquote, decrease the amount of standard 5-star characters, which they haven't released any since 4.0.
Yeah.
But it is their way to do it, for saying there's not gonna be any quote unquote skip patches,
Yeah.
But like, I'm not sure how Sega will handle that. They can't just be effort and just go full on catch up. Like, if you guys stay on 2-week patch cycles, you guys will catch up really fast. I'll be honest, you guys will catch up really, really fast if you guys just stay on the 2-week cycle. Or they have to, because of the gem difference also from dailies, like over time, TW would have gotten more gems than global, because you guys only have 2 weeks to do dailies, while we have 3 weeks to do dailies for each patch, right? So they either have to increase the gem count for dailies, for like how many gems you get, like to match the 3-week patch in 2 weeks, or else like I don't know how there's so many things that could go wrong if they just don't follow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like
should be considered too.
I feel like part of my concern is that a lot of the time they act like the other servers don't exist, and I feel like they should be a little more transparent about that sometimes, because it's borderline considering the health of the game. Are you guys prepared to catch us up if that's a possibility, and what's stopping the people who run CN from just running our version of the game at that point, if we're with you guys? That's one question I've always had. But Ceejay.
I was actually kind of hoping you'd call me right after Earphone on this, because I've talked to Earphone about this like one other time, and we basically come to the conclusion that we completely blatantly disagree on this. I literally hate cat. I love you. I hate Future Sight, and call me a filthy spender, call me what you want. I know I'll get the characters no matter what, so it doesn't matter. But I feel like Future Sight is literally the death of all hype in this game. Like, the only time I've seen global genuinely hype for something since Borderline release was Twins, because we didn't know, because technically we didn't know what the Twins was coming. And I just can't, I can imagine, like, because people are going through the motions of playing global. They get on, they play, they come back when a character's coming out they want, they leave again. Like, I feel like people just aren't inclined to play if they know they don't care about the next 2-3 characters, which I guess is fair at the same time. But I just like, we even as global players, people who don't even play TW will see, or TWCN, whatever, we'll see characters that get announced there, and we'll get hyped for them, even though we're not getting them in forever. I think the possibilities are either that they stop us exactly 6 months behind, a year behind, or they catch us up. I hope they catch us up, because like I said, I want to feel excited about things. I don't want to know the next like 6 banners, because like I think HSR does this really well, where they kind of announce it like during the beginning of the banner beforehand, so you have an entire banner cycle to prepare for the next one. But I just can't, like, and also it's I feel like it'll stop this whole argument of like, for example, people who really liked Mont didn't pull Mont thinking Sumi was coming up because they had that Future Sight. But then there are people that genuinely like that character that won't pull them just because they know there's another one coming up, which I feel like just makes the game retroactively less fun for them, because they're just full meta shilling for characters they don't even care about, which I just feel like it's not how you play the game. But
I mean,
Maybe that's like the most
people who
casual
are-
mindset you can have.
People who are meta shilling in the first place are dumb, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like I think the issue, and it's like I said with communication. I think the issue is having future sight. I think is fine, and then not having it, I think, is fine as well. But where it gets a little murky to me is when they are going along with everything for so long, and then just flick a switch randomly, and it's like, okay, the banner order's changed. We're doing this differently. We're doing that differently, and there have been content changes or content differences between global and the other servers, but it's never been character order differences. Yeah, I'll give the rest of my thoughts on that after you guys go. But Rick, what are your thoughts on catch up?
Yeah, I probably land closer to what Ceejay's saying, where I think just like, even if it's more difficult for us who are like making videos, it makes things easy when I can go on Lufelnet and like basically do like anything I want with the next character outside of like a couple of values and names, 4 weeks in advance if I wanted to. But I do think that it's best for the health of this game if like nobody knows what's coming next, and I think the only way to get that is to have us caught up. Although I could see them doing, like, I think someone mentioned in one of my comments, like maybe we'd be like 2 weeks behind, TW, so that they can just translate it or whatever. But I think the best thing for the game, honestly, and kind of what I'm hoping for at this point, is just like the most chaotic thing possible, which would be just let Blackwings do everything and then translate it and just send it out, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we're all at the same time.
Yeah. And I agree with parts of that, but I'm gonna let Watts go first on their thoughts, and then I'll probably start yapping.
So I have
yeah.
a bit of an issue, like, with both catching up and being behind, because like if we catch up, like others have already said, the twins was the most hype moment in this game. Like having that like unknown, like brand new character, that was when the game felt the most like played. It was super fun for me personally playing, and just all of that. But then there's the issue of, if we do catch up, they're not going to compensate us. They haven't ever super compensated us for the catch up. So we're going to be behind on like gyms, and the future sight is good for players who like want to have that future sight, to where like I really don't have an opinion on whether I want to be caught up or not, because there's so many pros and cons for either side that I really couldn't tell you if one is like distinctly better than the other for the health of the game.
Yeah, I'm just curious on, and I kind of agree with Rick, where it's like just hand the reins over to CN, just because the CN dev team just seems a lot more passionate about the game in general. But I know it's not going to happen for business reasons. I personally don't think CN ever gets the chance to run global, but I think there's cons either way to catching up or not catching up. I think overall, in terms of health of the game and hype, I think it benefits us more to catch up, because it's way more exciting when it's a character you don't know about, or it's a character that you kind of have to speculate on a little bit, and it makes it hurt a little bit when you pull a character and they suck. But for the most part, we've seen they've gotten a lot better at either A, making the characters just good on release, or B, coming back to that character, like Earphone was saying, and buffing them to a point where they're not terrible.
Another thing I thought of that would make being caught up difficult is they lined these big half and full anniversary patches up, and we could not do that because our anniversary is like offset by like 2 months. So
yeah.
That would be like a little bit of issue in like scheduling like these bigger characters like Anj, like the twins.
Yeah, and I also think in lieu of not catching up, I would like to see more. I'm really hoping that the twins weren't a one-time thing in terms of simultaneous patches, because it's a very cool idea. Something me and Watts have talked about before is how if the Twins patch was a predetermined thing, like if we all knew that the Twins were coming, we knew what the patch was like if it had already ran on TW, it wouldn't be nearly as exciting. Because if you really think about it, that patch does not have that much in it. It's just the Twins as a character, probably one of the, like, in my opinion, laziest, what is it called? Crossroads of Fate ever. It's like 5 missions and it's mostly cutscenes, and even the cutscenes are just kind of, they're okay. But the character's just, the character has a lot of detail put into it. Very good strategist, very nice animation work. I like all the homage to Persona and SMT with all the demons, all the different demons they use. But above all, it's most exciting because it felt like we were getting something new that even TW or CN or KR wasn't expecting. Granted, there were leaks, but they didn't know about it a year in advance or anything like that. So I do think it's important that we get some kind of form of new content, because it puts people's eyes on the game, and it makes it fun. Makes it fun to play, makes it fun to talk about. So this question is a little different. Usually we have questions that apply to everyone, but this question is specifically for Rick and Earphone. So I wanted to get into, so you guys both make essentially these guides on, I'm sure most everyone is familiar in chat, but they both make guides for Nightmare Gateway, which is the competitive mode, in the competitive in-game mode in P5X. It takes like a accumulation of 30 different people's scores and puts them in rankings against each other. Again, you're probably familiar with it, but these guys are two of the biggest creators as far as making guides for these for Nightmare Gateways that people can use for their guilds. And what I wanted to ask is, what is your process for making these videos? So do you kind of just go with whatever is most accessible for people, or do you just take your best shot and kind of upload that, or do you go at it for more of an optimal score angle and kind of compromise on what most people might have on their accounts? So Earphone, I'll let you start first.
I'll let Rick start first, because my answer will disappoint you very much.
Okay, all right, Rick. I can rephrase the question if you want me to, or was that pretty clear?
No, I think I got what you're going for. Unless if I answer something completely different, then ask me again, and I'll re-answer.
I think you're good.
But, yeah, generally I try and go for something like in the middle. Like, a lot of people sometimes will be like, "Oh, you should use Cherish here instead," and it's like, well, yeah, but for the 6 people who have Cherish, right? It's like, so I do not always do the thing that I think is the best, but I do the thing that I think's the best that the most people can do. So I kind of try and find like a balance in the middle, generally, right? And then I try not to like frame anything around like, if there was like some very specific strategy that required like an A4, like, obviously, and I had an A4 for that character, I'm not going to do like a whole guide about that. Like Earphone does the same thing with his, like where, he has the A1 chord on his videos, but he'll do the A0 rotation, right? Which is fine. Yeah. That's like, you're not like alienating anyone, but yeah, that's kind of it. Just run it like a billion times and get to a point where like I'm about to like mentally break essentially, and then I just record whatever I got.
Okay, yeah. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this disappointing answer you've been talking about.
Because I've been competitive on Guild since day one on TW, which is a whole other topic of what we used to run on TW back then when the game just dropped, when we knew nothing.
Yeah.
And so what my process would be, I would first look at the passive of like what the boss is, like sometimes they will have like that one time when Howler just dropped, they just slapped 100 defense on the Mont boss for no reason at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it is for Howler, so it makes sense. But first off, I have to look at that first. And then I need to build a team around it. Like, I would do the best team for it, yeah. Like, I wouldn't, like, to a point where, like, it's just instinct. Because, like, how long I've been doing it. Like, for a year now. It's just instinct that I know, like, what team is already going to be, quote-unquote, the best. Probably not the best, because it's just instinct. To be honest, but like it'll be good enough for something like this. which like a lot of people, and I'll also think of what alternatives of the characters that I think the best team can be fitted, so which I started trying to show more in my newer videos on like the alternative rotations for characters. So like, and I just go into the battle and like I usually do 2 or 3 runs, and then sometimes I just record it on the first run and it'll be done. And like, because I have a very specific highlight rotation already you've been using for like the past year. If you can catch the pattern of my highlight rotations, it's really easy to catch. And then the hard part is only wonder personas, which I really need to think about. Character rotation wise is, and yeah, it's experience. Like I have over a year of experience already. It's like, it's just I have everything done. Probably I can have like a video done in like 30 minutes probably, like from start making the rotation and posting the video, because like I just have that much experience in like actually doing guild boss. So like it's actually not much thought process out of it. It's like more like instinct at this point.
Yeah, I don't think that's a disappointing
Yeah.
answer. I find that pretty interesting, because we have like our guild, we try to make, because we have like, I don't know, 8 or 9 people in our guild who are very strategy oriented, where we'll throw out a strategy and people will be like, oh well, what about this and this? This works better for me, that works better for me. And then the other like 20 or so guild members just want to run whatever the best is and get the funny number, high score.
Yeah, because I do that for my TW guild. We do that often.
Yeah, and so the idea of you just like running what the best is because you know what the best is, because you've like essentially played the game before, it's pretty interesting to me. Do you feel like the character release order is gonna mess with that at all, or not really?
Not really, because like in the end of the day, the general rotation of making these kind of guides are trying to fit in, because like, you know, each character has their own quote-unquote best rotation, right? Like for example, Windfast is just skill 3, skill 2, skill 3, skill 2, and like Howler is skill 1, skill 3 if you're doing AoE, and skill 2, skill 3 if you're doing single target, and etc. And then you're just trying to fit all of those into one rotation where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And like I've done so many times to a point where it just became an instinct of like how I should put each character together, and they should work theoretically. They should already work theoretically in my head before I even go to actually test them. So like that's a part of the reason why it takes like it's almost no time for me to actually come up with a rotation, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah. No, I find that pretty interesting. I'm
It's
hoping to get there.
experience. It's
I'm
just
hoping to
I
get
have
there one
a
day.
year of experience
Oh, yeah.
prior, and that's
Yeah.
just a major factor.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so next question is, Chinese New Year Rin is a contentious character. Some people are, we've had characters where people are like, oh, I'm skipping this for X, I'm skipping, Y for X, but CNY Rin, correct me if I'm wrong, is our first character where we actually have the elemental coverage for this DPS. On exists as a character, and some people are taking the stance that like, hey, I can get her to A6, and then she is similar to CNY Rin, so why would I pull this DPS? And then another stance people are taking is that CNY Rin falls off in the 4.0 meta, so why bother with investing in her as a character if she's just gonna fall off like relatively soon? So the first question I want to ask, just Watts, Ceejay, and Rick is, what are your thoughts on that? And then I have a more TW nuanced question addition to that for Earphone. So Watts, I feel like you have the most to say. So what are your thoughts on CNY Rin as, I guess, value on global?
I really don't know what to say, because if I'm being completely honest, as far as DPSs, she's the one that I don't super know her place in the meta. I know that she's like, there's supposedly this, she's better than, or A0's worse than A6 on, A1's better. I don't know like to what degree. Little plug thing that I'm actually going to throw out is that we actually intend on making a video testing that. So if you're a little bit hesitant on like what you want to see numbers before you pull her, we actually are planning on making a video comparing A0 and A6, or A0 Rin, A6 on, and that should be coming out the day after the patch. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that's kind of all. I don't really know because I don't know how, but she's just one of the characters that I like know the least about.
Yeah. We'll go Rick next.
Yeah, I don't really know. Kind of it. I'm sure she'll get buffed too. So like that, whatever the comparison is right now, people are saying like A6 on is like slightly better than A0 Rin or whatever the thing is that people have been saying for for a while now. But I don't know. I feel like it just depends on your situation, right? Like if you're a free to play player, then and you have an A6 on, then like you don't really like Rin, you don't care, then yeah, just skip it, right? You already have a character that can do the job essentially. If you're like me or someone who likes Rin, wants the character, then pull her. I think that's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, that's always a valid take for me, because if we didn't have the channel, I still would have pulled Matoi anyway. It's definitely not because of how good her kid is. But yeah, Ceejay, your thoughts?
I feel like I'm just the exact same as Rick. If you like the character, or if you really care about meta, it's just go ahead. And if you, I refuse to believe they're gonna release Rin unbuffed. But that's a completely different conversation. I'm just like, if she released it in her just current state, it's just if you like her, grab her. If you don't like her, and you don't care about meta, just leave her be. I feel like it's that simple.
Yeah, and that's kind of why this question was going to be just strictly earphone oriented, because I have like another question to stack on top of that, because earphone kind of has the year of foresight and has seen this character. But the other thing I was going to ask, and people have already started mentioning it in chat, is that she gets the Mindscape core. So if you guys aren't familiar, Mindscape core, we have the outer ring of the Mindscape, we have the inner ring of the Mindscape, but there's a little button off to the left in the Mindscape menu, and you click on it, and then inside there's even more character buffs, and this is what allows you to reach level 100 on the other servers, so CN, KR, TW, but only a few select characters actually have it. So what I wanted to ask Earphone is kind of honestly just to let Earphone yap about it as far as what he thinks as far as the character on our server. Let's say she releases 2 Mesa type buffs where she gets a buff to her most important skill by 50%, but outside of that, she gets some number buffs to her skills. Do you feel like she's still worth pulling? And then also, do you feel like her Mindscape skills have significantly improved her as a character to where people might be thinking like, oh man, maybe I should have pulled her?
Not really. She'll definitely get buffed, yes. That is true. Like, that is definitely going to be a thing. Where, to a point where A0 Rin might be better than A6 on at that point, because she got that buff. So, but even with the Mindscape core thing, it's just making her better, but not that much better to a point where she can stand at the same feat as the current AoE DPSs on TW. So it'll be to a point where you're glad that you have the character, but not to a point where you prefer her over another DPS where it's running right now. She can work on most of the situation, but if you want to catch up to the quote-unquote the meta, then she'll fall off relatively quickly, considering where there's not much AoE fire content afterwards. To a point. Yes, she is a really good AoE DPS, but Summer Puppet and Luce is on a different level. Yeah. And the Mind Core buffs I'm looking at right now, which is It's just attacking, increase attack percentage, and the main thing about the Mindcore buffs is to know that it's just adding new passive to the characters, where it's mainly for CNY Rin is increasing skill multiplier and attack percentage, and skill multiplier and attack percentage here, which does make her better, but still not at the same feat as like Luce, like 5-star Luce, as an AoE DPS.
Yeah, and these buffs would be, another thing for people to keep in mind is that these buffs would be significantly far in the future. Mindscape core.
We just got it.
She just got it. Yeah.
She just got it. So like by the time you got the buff, it doesn't really feel like it won't make you feel that I'm really glad that I pulled this character like a year ago or something like that. It won't make you feel that. It'll just make you feel like, oh, that's a nice buff to a character that I have touched for a while now. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of bring older characters back up a little bit to where they're not just getting completely erased by some of the 4.0 characters, or have them put up at least comparable numbers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess my other question, and you kind of answered it, was Mindscape cores in general on characters. And if you feel like the Joker one is one that I guess we could talk about as well. Do you feel like they could use those in the future to bring characters that I guess they just prefer to be kind of rotated in Nightmare Gateway and SOS back to the surface, like Joker? Because
definitely.
I feel like for a while Joker wasn't good at his own boss anymore, and it seems like those Mindscape core buffs have helped him a little bit.
Yeah, because Summer Papa literally just took his place on Dominion for a while before we got the Joker buffs, really. Because they're not resistant to ice. That's the main thing. And right now, I would say Joker after the Mindscape buffs is almost the same feat as some Puppet, surprisingly.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so, and that is one thing I think me and Ceejay or me and Rick have talked about, or me and Watts. I feel like the wildcard characters should always be somewhere in the meta. It's weird to have like main character persona characters in the game and not make them at least a little powerful, you know? So I think that's a good idea, and probably a calculated move by them to make sure Joker is at least being used on the boss specifically designed for him. So that's good for me to hear. Lastly, for the Valentine's Day patch, I honestly was not quite sure what to think, because the devs seem to make a really big deal out of it. So actually sitting down and doing it, and I know we don't get one of the scenes till like way later, but I kind of want to get y'all's thoughts on what you thought of the event, who you romanced, or if you're a dirty cheater like Watts.
Hey.
And you know, and yeah, just your general thoughts on the event. I'll start with Rick.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of just like skimmed over everything that was going on in the event. I didn't really understand how it worked. I was like, is this the harem route? Is this the one? Like, I didn't know. Whatever got me all the meta gems is kind of what I did, and I ended up inviting Merope over. So
let's go.
But all the girls were waiting outside, so I don't know if that was like the harem route or not. But
yeah, it was.
So yeah, I guess that's what I did. But yeah, my goat Merope was my pick, and this event's like not for me, obviously. Like, I understand that. Like, it's fun to just like, you know, it's like a funny little thing and then move on, but like I don't really care about this kind of stuff generally outside of the rewards. So
yeah. Ceejay, your thoughts?
To be completely honest, I did the main story so that I could be here for this, but I actually haven't done the Valentine's Day event in full. I already know I haven't romanced anyone yet, and I know that I'm probably not going to for the event unless it's you actually need to for jewels. But
I think I think they made it to where you can either do the harem. So there are like 3 rewards, and you can only get one of them, and they cover each of the scenarios. So for people who didn't do anything, you hang out with Shun, and you'll still get the same thing everyone else does.
Yeah, this is kind of trailing off. I'm playing too much NTE, but even in normal Persona games, I've always romanced the characters that I think fit best for the main character. But I think Wonder is way more apparently supposed to be like a self-insert type of character, and it just like I don't know. I like because of that, I feel like Wonder is like an extension of the player, and I'm like, I don't want to romance the pixelated women, so I just don't. So like I just friend zone everyone. So I guess I'm gonna be spending Valentine's Day with Shun, which honestly sounds pretty solid to me. I don't know.
Goat status. Watts, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Valentine's Day.
I was so confused at how this event worked at first. I thought you had to give 100 of the pieces of chocolate to everybody, not just 10. So I was like scrambling, looking around, and I was like, I can only find 100. I can only like finish one of these. There's 40 gems locked behind each one. What can I do? And then like somebody was like, it's only 10. And I was like, all right, that's whatever. All right, I'm stupid apparently. But actually, I didn't do the cheater route. I only romanced Rico. I only accepted one thing of chocolates. Thank you very much.
So you just cheat on the social links, but not
on
the
social links. I have like half of them romance, but in the event, only one.
Okay, that's funny. I also romanced or got Rico's chocolate, which I guess that makes me a cheater because I initially romanced Yumi. But, and then for Valentine's Day, I did Rico's just because I kind of agree with CJ. It doesn't really feel like Wonder has a canonical love interest. But to me, Rico so far feels like her social link made the most sense for him. But, yeah, I've also watched... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
It feels like Wonder's everybody else's love interest, but none of them are.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like... Yeah, I feel like with Persona 3, 4, and 5... you can narrow each of those main characters down to like 2 that it could be, but with Wonder, it's like they write all of them to be so attracted to him. It's hard to pick one where it feels like, okay, this makes the most sense. But
Dustro, I think you might think. I think it might feel that way sometimes. The reason that why I think you think Rico is like the closest to the canonical love interest. Because 90% of them are just illegal anyway. So you just scrap those ones out, and you're just left with the little stragglers that are just
literally legal. Yeah, and then at that point, it's like who's interesting enough to like for Wonder to be with, and then it's like, okay, well I can just write Closer off. No, sorry for the Closer slant. I don't know if there's any Closer fans out there, but I feel like they kind of let her have her arc, and then just kind of, I don't know, maybe she gets some peak later on that I don't know about.
I feel like the story's passed her by a little bit.
Yeah, they treated her like oh, go ahead.
And Tomoko. They want Tomoko to be liked so bad, but Tomoko's social link was a like introduction for
Kotone.
For Kotone, and then like her they want her to be part of the party so bad, but it's like, what are you doing, bro? You're not part of the team.
Bro, the best part of Moko is her voice actor, for sure, hands down. That's my goat.
Leo's chat is so funny. I got jumped because I gave them chocolate after the event started, and I wasn't allowed to unaccept them because it's auto accept.
Yeah,
so he just didn't even know they were coming.
The scenes with, maybe this makes me heartless, but the scenes with the girls crying and like their VA performance are really fun. Like if y'all haven't seen the Howler one, it is seriously funny. Like there's been very few moments that actually make me laugh out loud in this game, but like Howler's voice actor screaming like that actually like cracked me up multiple times. Yeah, I like the event. Obviously, I think it being 18 days is lunacy. I think that's insane, but I mean, it's cool. I felt like Rick did before it happened. I was like, I really don't care about this type of thing. Even in Persona, I find it a little weird just because of the options that are available to you. I feel like there's always a strange one, but
not the strange 4 though.
Oh yeah, but no, I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I was gonna say Earphone for last because you've had 2 now. So I want to know who you picked in year 1 and who you picked in year 2, or if you just do the. Well, I know. So actually, that brings up a different thing. I know in year 1 of TW, you actually had incentive to do the harm route because you got more gems from it. So really? I'd like to know. Yeah, Yeah, so and they addressed it in they addressed it in the stream, and we actually had people in this Discord being like, yeah, I think it's really dumb that being a harem
Really, that actually happened.
Yeah,
The optimal route is cheating.
yeah.
It wasn't in like the actual event, but during this event, if you romance them for the social link, you got a letter where you got 50 extra gems for each one you romance.
Oh.
And the turnaround ticket cost is so high that there's no point in using turnaround tickets to do it.
So I guess I missed 50 gems because I only friends to the closer.
Yeah, it's just so dumb.
Did, bro.
It's just so dumb though, because they should never have had it like that.
Yeah,
to
that
begin
is
with.
dumb then. Yeah, that is dumb.
It is dumb. But yeah, so
luckily they changed it to it's not gems anymore. It's the rose that for making the gift, like the flower gift that is suitable for anyone.
Yeah, they should. That's a way better, like, that's more appropriate, I feel like. Okay, so you picked closer.
No, I didn't.
Okay, who'd you pick
That's
for
the only one
your
you didn't, you said, I think.
Oh. I thought
For my
you
social
said...
link. For my social link. That's the only one I didn't choose.
Do you just hate closer?
I just don't find her attractive. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think she's kind of boring. I don't know. I feel like they could have done. She kind of, if y'all have played Metaphor, she kind of reminds me of Heisme, where they have the character's arc and then kind of move on, and the story never really ropes them in very well. I do like Heisme as a character for Metaphor fans. I like his social link and all that. It just feels like he's kind of the odd one out in a lot of scenes, and I feel like Closer is sort of like that at this point in the story. But yeah.
Because for the first year, I didn't know I need to turn off the other character's chocolate thing.
Oh,
so, like,
okay.
That's exactly what Leo said, yeah.
Yeah, so I chose Cord, thinking that and then after that, Wonder got beat up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this year it's not happened yet. There's still 4 days for us on TW.
Oh wait, you guys aren't getting it at all?
Yeah, TW's 2 weeks.
There's still 4 days.
CN.
There's still 4 days.
Oh right. No, I forgot about that. Okay.
There's still 4 days, but I'm planning to do Anj.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that social link.
All right, so now I need your
First
reasoning for why
Peace
not.
wasn't lurking.
I need the reasoning for why not Barry, because Barry's the
Ooh,
correct.
Watts is a Barry stan. Yeah.
I struggled between Anj and Barry. I'll be honest.
So her social link's that good, huh?
No, it's just more. I'm more a music person.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, Barry. I think Watts might be D1 Barry stan. And I like her too. I think Anj and Barry are examples of characters. First off, they're original P5X characters, which I'm always going to be a fan of and want them to do more of. So, yeah, those characters like Cord and Anj and Barry, I'm always going to have some sort of bias for. But yeah, I like little events like this. I don't know. Do I feel like they should have made it as big of a deal as they did? I don't know, but it was pretty good. Like, I enjoyed it. And lastly, before we get to Q&A and just talk to chat for a bit, Rick, you did your first live stream recently. Unfortunately, we were actually streaming at the same time, so I couldn't pop in, but I wanted to know how that went. It kind of plugged you a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was good. There was a lot going on. I'm definitely not good at multitasking all the stuff that you need to do, but it was fun. Yeah, a lot of people came out, so it was pretty sweet. Gonna start doing them again. I'll be gone this weekend, but hopefully going forward, kind of make it like a normal thing.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with this podcast, we usually do our 8 to 10 questions, like panel sort of thing, and then we move on to Q&A from the chat. So if you want to ask us things about the game, discussion topics, or just straight up questions about the game, and we share our thoughts. I saw one a lot earlier. If you guys will let me find it real quick. It was a question about Mindscape. Oh, yeah.
The Hoslander.
Oh yeah. Sorry for the Motoha slammer.
Slammer.
Slander.
Slammer. The subway slammer.
Yeah. That slipped out. I went to apologize and I slandered her even further. Yeah. So just that people are saying that they think that Mindscape this season was a lot harder. I think a really interesting person to ask that question to would be Rick, because he has all A0s. One, do you feel like this season of Mindscape was harder? And two, are there any like nodes you've actually struggled with to the point where you had to like reset your stuff and go back and change your units?
So I do think it was harder in general. It feels like I couldn't. The first set of nodes, the first season or whatever, I was able to like clear everything and then reset and go back and do it with worse units like 2 times, kind of, it felt like. I have not been able to do that this time. It feels kind of like whatever well, the only 2 that have been challenging have really been the purple one on the left and then the red one kind of, but the purple one on the left gave me a lot of trouble. My Mont wasn't able to take out all 3 of the angels in time, so I had to do it with A1 Twin, so I essentially just sat there for like 2 hours and just reset it until I hit enough crits to have them do it as a sweeper.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up doing it, but I do feel like generally like the floor is higher this season than last season for whatever reason.
Yeah, maybe they're just kind of testing the waters with the first intro season to kind of make it, hey, this is how this performs and this is kind of your chance to get with the program, and then moving forward they're all going to be a little harder, because there was the one that requires multiple assassins or spread characters. I just like threw some characters in there and I was like, oh, this should be pretty easy, and I had to change my lineup because it wasn't a pushover, definitely. Ceejay, have you messed with Astrolabe this cycle?
Yes. Only. Have they added more willpower yet or no? I only like kind of worked up the right side until I ran out of willpower, then stopped.
I think we have 9 now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I used what I had like the first week. I haven't touched it since. I can only really talk about the one still on the right side. But
yeah, that's one people are complaining about a lot.
Oh, is it? Well, considering I don't remember it, it probably was hard for me, but I'm also like Mr. has every character, so in theory it shouldn't be hard for me. I haven't heard many people talking about it though either. But then again, I don't think people in my Discord could care less if they're getting every single thing in one rotation or not.
Yeah,
so
to
me, it's like fine.
Yeah, there are definitely like min-maxers in the community who want to make sure they get all the badges, because you get badges for clearing earlier, and then you get the little bonus rewards and stuff. So but Watts, do you think this one's harder than the last one?
I do think it is a little harder than last one, because I think one thing that makes it a little bit harder is that the character specific nodes that they have are for less popular characters. Like we have a spread resonance damage one, we have a single target residual damage one, and that's Mesa and that's Fox. Yeah. And we don't. Those are like 2 of the more skipped units. So that one's a little rough. And I mean, also like the twins are just like, yeah, I'd hate it if somebody skipped the twins, because that character has proven that they're just like super good on global and can just like stopgap fill any holes that your account may have. And I kind of don't get a say anymore about how hard content is, because I can just like hurt their A6 twins at it and beat it on auto, no matter like what the content is. So I really can't say for sure like what the average player experience is anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to.
Destro,
oh no,
quick,
you're good.
Just off Watts said while I have it in my head.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe with this season is it does feel like, I saw some people say it in the chat, it almost feels like the entirety of Astrolabe is like just an A1 Twins check sometimes.
Yep.
And I don't love that, but yeah, just kind of Watts said that and it triggered that in my brain.
Funnily enough, do feel that as an A0 Twins haver. Like that one node in the first rotation in the top left was actually like I was able to do it, but it was obnoxious because it's so obviously like, because they keep throwing, they're like, oh, let's throw some almighty stuff here, let's throw this where you need all of this stuff, but it's only exclusive to this one character that we released. What, like, it's kind of that's kind of annoying. I feel like a lot of stuff is shilling the twins recently though. I don't know.
They've also been giving us a lot of Mesa content without giving us a rerun for it.
That is also true.
Interesting question from Emmanuel. How often you interact with your Thieves Den? Yeah, so I feel like I care about Thieves Den probably more than anyone in this call, so I'll answer that first. I think the biggest thing is they need to add level 60 to the Den. I don't know when they add that on TWC and KR, but we're to the point where I feel like a lot of people are level 50 in there, and level 51, I think, adds another speed up in the gain of coins and XP. And I've been overcapped on level 50 for a while now. So I think they need to go ahead and add the next level, and then they'll be a little more like, oh, let me make sure to get, XP for these characters. But as far as how often I interact with it, I mean, every day to get the coins and the Mindscape material. Yeah. Watts.
Yeah, I prioritized it really early. So now that I'm maxed out, I'm just like kind of going through the motions, get the coins, get the XP, swap my visitors out if they're full. I still buy like all of the paintings and stuff that I can because I like because we are going to get more levels. And the fact that I just like having all the little buffs, however little they may be.
Yeah, it goes up to 70 on the other servers.
Yeah, but I will not be buying music until they give us new levels and stuff like that. But like any like aesthetic stuff where I was like changing what I like, the decorations or like running around and interacting with the characters, I don't do any of that stuff. that is not anything that I do.
Rick, do you mess around in Thieves Den at all?
I pretty much do the same Watts does. I go in there, I collect stuff so it doesn't like hit the cap on the XP for the visitors, the coins.
Yep.
I buy whatever new stuff comes out every time, you can buy new stuff, and then and I kind of leave. Because I don't know, as Emmanuel mentioned something about changing the layout in the den, it has no effect, right? Like those stats you get, you get all the stats. So I don't think I've ever put like, I might have the same furniture I had down from like the first like 2 days in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
buy the thing and you get the passive, and that's
so you don't actually need to change anything in the layout. You get everything. You get all the stats.
Yeah, and that's one of my complaints is I feel like it would be, I mean, not a game dev here, but I feel like it would be very easy for them to add more like scenery and like layouts to Thieves Den. I know on the other servers they get one more that like changes kind of how it looks, but I would have thought like 4.0 and Persona. Yeah.
The original Windows Painter.
Yeah, like, is it not super obvious they could have made, like, one with Tartarus, like, hanging up in the background, since, you get
that
the
would be
Persona 3
really
crossover?
Cool.
Yeah, and, like, change the theme to blue? Like, I feel like it wouldn't be that wouldn't be that
have
big
right now
bad.
is just Kamoshida Palace in our White Palace. It's just...
Feels like they kind of gave up on it. I don't know. And then, like, what is the area you can run around with people in the, it's like the Companio area where you can like run around with different,
like the broken slide and stuff.
Playground, I call it.
Yeah, they should have that for Thieves Den, where you can like invite people over and they can see your layout and run around in there. People eat that kind of crap up. It doesn't sound like much, but I think people would like that. But yeah, it feels like they've kind of forgotten about it a little bit. So, CJ, do you prioritize Thieves Den at all? I know a lot of people don't really.
Okay, prioritize is a crazy word, but I like the Thieves Den. I don't. I go in there, I mess around. I actually like change the statues around and stuff as I get them, even though it doesn't do anything. But I mean, I like Thieves Den to a degree where I made an entire video. Like I have a legitimate like 10-minute long video about the Thieves Den somehow. I like somewhere where you kind of like
chill,
express yourself in the game, like have your own little area and decorate it, but at the same time I also agree it needs so much more. There's like nothing, there's really not much to do in there except place down like 4 statues and go and then leave.
Like why not have so we don't have solo mode for why am I spacing that? Tycoon yet. Why not have that in the Thieves Den and then like offline, or not solo mode, sorry, friends mode, and have it to where you can invite
So
your
much
friends into
potential
your
there.
Thieves
I
Den.
need them to add that already.
Yeah, like it's been so long, but just stuff like that, because I do like Thieves Den. I think the idea is really cool, and they even added it into the game early for us. So honestly, I thought they had a little more planned with it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But no, I get, yeah, prioritize was a weird word. I guess I meant like, because now there's so many things in there, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but there's so many things in there, it's like we can't buy everything in a month. So now it's like, okay, let me make sure I'm getting all the Mindscape stuff, even though it's not a whole lot.
Is you can't buy everything, period.
Yeah.
Because if you want new, like on TW, if you want the newer paintings, you need to buy the premium battle pass for it.
Oh, yeah, that checks out. Yeah, we saw that with the twins. With the twins, and then I think they did that with the Wonder outfit as well, the Velvet Attendant Wonder outfit. So that checks out. Emmanuel has another question for us. Did everyone pull Jack Frost from the Crane game?
Right
yeah,
there.
200,000 yen later, I did. Yeah, and I think Ceejay got way more unlucky than I did with that.
Said 200,000, like it was something bad.
I mean, it was for me, but I didn't
I
realize
would have rather dug out of Alcatraz with a wooden spoon.
It's such a long time ago, I just forgot.
Yeah, see, I feel like I like spent a lot pulling on the Crane, and I got like Jack Frost relatively early. Then I was like, oh hey, there's a Pixie one too. Then I got Pixie relatively early. I didn't realize how unlucky people were getting until like I looked and there were like war stories where people were like, I have nothing. I'm on the street. I'm behind the McDonald's. And I still don't have him. And I'm like, oh, I guess I got lucky then.
Yeah, Watts got crazy lucky.
I think
Watts got crazy lucky, and I thought I was getting extremely unlucky. But then I've just learned you can talk to Ceejay, and generally his RNGs are going to be worse on the Crane game.
I've pulled 3 Jack Frosts now.
Okay, all right, you can stop talking. All right, Rick, how about you, Rick? Yeah.
Kind of the same as Watts, honestly. Like I kind of painlessly I got everyone pretty much except for King Frost. It's like the only one I don't have. But I am annoyed that there's no like collection bonuses for them, because like that's part of the reason I like doing these. It's like just having another thing that says 100%. But you know,
I don't even need like a collection bonus for them. I just want somewhere where I can track them. Like,
right.
I want to know that I have them all.
Right. Me too.
The last time I did the crank game, like how do you say English? That thing was like Yui's patch on TW, like the new Yui.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the new Yui, because they did add a Yui and Wonder Plush into the thing.
Yeah, those were sick.
So like those cost me like what 600k, both of them. So I think I should like around 300k for each. Like one for Yui and one for Wonder.
Okay. Yeah.
I just wish those Crane game pity.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to spend 5 mil. You just shouldn't. Like someone out there's done it, like for sure. Like someone's out there still getting shafted.
Finch,
I don't understand.
You want to hear another story? I got all the new gachapons in 3 rolls.
I'm jumping off it.
And that one's more frustrating to me because I objectively have to do the capsules. Like I want the gems. The Crane game, it doesn't give you really anything. At least on our server, it doesn't give you anything yet. So I'm not as pressed about that. Like it took me a little while. But bro, Watts' RNGs on the capsules are insane. So there's one more thing I wanted to ask. Earphone, since it's your first time on the podcast, we have to know because we asked Ceejay. What's your favorite persona and why?
You mean which game?
Yeah, the main series. Yeah.
This guy would have actually gone through the compendium. Do you have an actual favorite persona itself?
It's free.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ceejay that's his favorite, and we talked about that a little bit. And
there is a reason why I A2'd my Makoto Yu.
Okay, yeah, that's actually that's the character I'm saving all my Violet Cognigems for, is Makoto Yuki, to get him A6, R6. He's not my favorite, like, main series Persona character, but of the characters that are in the game, he's my favorite. But, one day I'll get Watts to answer what his favorite Persona game is, but he never does.
Well, Persona 3 has the best story.
Oh my god, not
Persona
this again.
4 has the best characters.
This sounds like a Persona 5 enjoy your take. He just doesn't want to sound basic.
No,
See,
it's the R/SMT
like,
take.
I legit, I cannot decide. It's whichever one
Yeah.
I've played the most recently. Because
Yeah,
like
which is fair.
I've played them all so recently, like within like the past like 4 years playing my first one, that I cannot decide. Like I don't have nostalgia or anything for any of them.
That's valid too.
So
yeah.
I just like each time I play one, I see things about that one that puts it above the others. So like I cannot come to a decision definitively about which one's my favorite.
Peace said ChatGPT take.
Also,
That's really funny. I see.
Oh.
Okay, and now since a few people have answered this question, I guess I will come back around to that. What is your favorite Persona? Your phone, like actual SMT Demons.
I actually need to go through the Persona list.
Okay, what about you, Watts?
ooh, my favorite like Persona.
Yeah, we'll say like SMT Demon.
Okay.
We'll broaden it a little bit.
You know, I have my answer.
Okay, all right, Earphone.
Actually, Yanosek.
Yanosek. Okay,
I
I think Yanosek is cooler than Orpheus, and I think Yanosek is cooler than Arsene.
Ooh, Orpheus is a close one.
Yeah.
I think Yanosek is just cooler, and he's really good.
Yeah, he is really good.
That's also a reason. He's just really, really good.
I like that he gets to be used for the whole game instead of like.
And also,
go ahead.
that one conspiracy theory where Yanosek looked like Yaldiba.
Yeah, I have heard that before. Yeah. Rick, what's your favorite Persona? Persona or SMT Demon?
Not something I've given much thought to.
Yeah, me neither until that person said it. Yeah.
Let me go look through the compendium.
I mean, Mara is hard to say.
Yeah, Mara's really cool. Mara is a really cool demon.
I don't know, maybe like Alice. I don't know. She's like basic,
Okay.
but I don't know, like Alice.
Yeah. Ceejay?
I don't know if I can choose one. Like, because there's reasons I like all I really like the design of specifically of the female Orpheus Picaro one from the P5R like DLCs. But I also I have a soft spot in my heart for Jack Frost. Like if I had to have a Persona in my room to come home to, I would want it to be Hiho.
Yeah, I was about to say this is gonna be super basic, but I think I'm picking Jack Frost.
That's crazy, dude. If you guys had given me a bunch of guesses at your favorite ones, I think it would have taken me more than 5 because I was gonna go with the Persona characters, like their specific ones, and then I was gonna go for Yoshitsune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remembered.
Oh yeah.
You remembered I teased a little bit to you yesterday about Earphoneidot, right?
Yes, a little.
Here?
Yeah, little Earphoneidot. Well, I don't know what I want to call it. Not slander is not the word, but
yeah, rant. Yeah. Are you interested in it? Are you still interested in it?
If Destro wants to go down this hole, I'm.
Yeah. What are we?
hearing it.
Yeah. What are we talking about here?
So like,
Your phone's about to completely slander Earphoneidot. He's about to put it in the narrative.
Really, it's a really good place for people who like want to just look up things and just get a quick answer to. Yeah, it's a really good place. But there's literally one thing that I need to get out there, which is people don't think for themselves anymore. They just follow Earphoneidot and just do what it says.
Yeah.
And that is just the pain that I have to went through when I was doing account reviews with Blade, like in literally the past 2 weeks on Fridays. Which is like we see the build on Mesa, which is Moon attack, Star attack, and Sky also attack main stat. And they said, I followed Earphoneidot for that. But like, why are you using 3 attack main stat?
Yeah.
cards or Mesa.
It'd break it down into crit molt, or sorry, not crit molt, attack molt. Attack boost,
or
whatever
like,
you want to call it.
yeah.
To be
like-
devil's advocate for this, though, if people thought for themselves, would we have channels?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
and
people just
that's
blindly follow
Yeah.
that, and that is the problem I have.
Yeah.
It's a good thing and a bad thing that comes with it.
yeah.
I get
That's one thing I was gonna mention is. Go ahead, Watts.
I so much agree with that because I can't tell you how many times I've been like, so here's a valid point, and then I get hit with but the tier list says this.
But
Yeah,
the new phone
it's-
that actually says this. Have you ever considered that it might become wrong?
Either wrong
Yeah,
or it's just
yeah.
like contextual. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
in-
exactly. It's
contextually
like
in this situation, it's different than the tier list.
And of course, the tier list has like notes on it. It's like, hey, this is not the end all be all. Like, but yeah, that is the point Ceejay made. If people didn't reference these things or they weren't trying to get better at the game, then they wouldn't come to our channels. But I kind of agree with Earphoneidot as well, because there are certain things that I feel like need to be maybe looked over again later on. I feel like as some of these characters get left behind, like, I love Mesa, but yeah, maybe come back and re-review them. But also, it's one of the reasons we started making videos, right? Because Lufel.net has a suggestion for what you should use, but Mesa was actually our first build guide, which obviously we probably, if I rewatched it now, probably need to come back and make a few changes to it because we were newer. But yeah, Lufel doesn't go over the like nuances to the character or explain how they work, so people just come away with, oh, I need these stats and I need these cards, and that's kind of it. But like Watt said, the more you understand about the game and the more you understand why you're putting these things on this character, the more you understand about the character and how the game works. So I think that's part of the problem is there's a
People just
certain
think more of why they are actually doing this instead of just blindly following it.
It becomes
There's a-
terrible for characters like Phoebe, where you actually have to use your head. And now, because now we have the Phoebe dilemma of people use Phoebe, but no one actually knows how to use Phoebe because no one cares to find out how
Oh,
to
it'll be
use Phoebe.
way worse when Fu. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, I know
Oh,
Fuka's
yeah.
terrible too.
Yeah. The Winvast was a really big example because Winvast was one of the first characters, I feel like, where people had to juggle two substats, and
Also
it
true.
just became. It's one of the reasons our guide for her is so long, because I felt like it was something that people might need, because it's like, yeah, you do need both of these substats, but it's kind of hard for Lufel in their format for Lufel to kind of say like, hey, this one is way more important than this one. Like, you really don't need that much. I can't tell you how many comments we had that are like, oh, I just pumped SP recovery onto her because she's the SP recovery character, and it's like, no, not really. She's actually the crit mold character. Yeah.
Like, not true.
Yeah, like yes, she does use a lot of SP, but that doesn't mean you put a bunch of SP
You
recovery
need a
on her.
good balance on both.
Absolutely, yeah. But again, I'll add a disclaimer. I think we all love Lufel.net. It's a great website.
It's a great website. It's a really good website.
It's like anything else. It's a tool.
Having information and data in a easily accessible format is always good.
It's also gotten crazy good over these last couple months. Bro has been in the lab.
Yeah, putting in a lot of work.
Adding maps to the dungeons. It's just above and beyond crazy.
We can fix this with earphone.net when you really think about it.
Earphone.net.
10 pages long with videos.
Do you think there ever will be another standard character on TWCN? No?
Not
Yeah,
really.
it's been so long.
I don't see it. It's almost been a whole year without a standard character. I don't think they're ever gonna do another standard character.
And then what are you supposed to do? Make a character that's better than Turbo? Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they haven't been able to do that, or not be able. They haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
If they make Turbo Unlimited, it might actually be better for people, because people who thought not thought, but like people think she'll go to standard and skip her will actually get her now. So like, because like I think a lot of people underestimate how important Turbo actually is.
Oh yeah,
like 90% of the team out there.
just the fact that an A1 standard character can keep up with like 4.0 supports should tell everyone everything.
Don't even keep up, dude. She is just.
Mog.
Yeah.
She drags them to the floor.
So
I saw a question that I can answer really quick.
Yeah.
My favorite palace will be Palace 4. Like
wow.
the chapter.
Okay.
The chapter after, like you guys don't have yet.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's that one.
That's exciting.
Like, I can't say much about it, but story-wise, it has the best awakening scene in the series.
Well, in the series, you talking about?
I'm standing on that. It has the best awakening in the series.
Okay. All right.
I'm standing by that. Yes.
Okay.
I'm standing by that. It has the best awakening in the series. And then ending.
Is peak.
And then it will let you think a lot of things. I'm just gonna say it that. And what happens in between also let you think.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I wish I hadn't. I don't know if you guys have watched it yet. If you see the preview for the next chapter, do not watch it. I watched it because it autoplayed after I finished. Don't watch it. They did the thing they always do and they spoil stuff. Just don't even watch it. I don't know why they do that.
For Switch.
Yeah. Oh, the P3R trailer. And like, I guess some people would say it's not spoilers, but like, I don't want to see the new palace. I don't want to see like new characters and stuff. I want to be surprised by all of it. So don't let that thing autoplay. Yes. See, people have already said they got spoiled. It's annoying. One more thing. I know I made it sound like we were a lot closer to the end, but I thought of a few things and I saw something else in chat. Do you think, Earphone, do you think we ever get 3 bosses in Nightmare Gateway? And the thing is, it feels like it's a fundamental difference on Global, because we get 2 bosses and then it swaps over, so we end up getting 4 bosses a patch, but just 2 at a time. So do you think that ever swaps to having 3 bosses, or no?
If they want to do 3 bosses, it has to be 3 bosses for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Instead of 6 bosses, would you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 6. That's what I'm thinking. 6 would be insane. But like, I honestly, and maybe also, 7?
I think it's a
no.
Not 7. Good right now, where two bosses for 1 week is a good like point of like a balance, in my opinion. It's a good balance for now. Yeah. It's definitely better than also on TW 3 bosses for 3 weeks of like, dude. we do it once and just like leave it there for 3 weeks and not like don't even need to budget and nothing to do.
Yeah, it's my favorite difference between the servers, I think, so far. I like when it resets and then we get to see who the new boss is. We get to see, obviously we have a guild that's like, that we have like high awareness versions of some characters, and sometimes we don't. And it also gives like more niche characters a chance to shine, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it makes that second part of the patch not feel quite as dead for people who love Nightmare Gateway. So yeah, I think we're on the same page there. I appreciate both you guys coming on, Ceejay and Earphone.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Watts, Rick, you guys got anything else?
Make sure you check out all these guys' channels. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and go and subscribe to all of them. They're all great, and thank you all for coming and being on our little channel.
Yeah, shout out to Ceejay and Earphone for hopping in here. It was fun to get some new people in here, new voices, new opinions, rather than us 3 just kind of yapping the same things kind of every week with a new subtext behind it with the patch. But yeah, appreciate everyone coming out to watch.
For sure. Yeah, Ceejay. Yeah. No, definitely. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Good. This is actually my first time, me and Watts and Rick, our first time meeting Earphone. And yeah, it's been great. I've been trying. One thing I've talked about with Ceejay before and Rick is kind of like branching out in the community more and getting everyone to
that
talk
would be
to each
really
other.
good. That would be good.
Because
I would love that. I would love that.
Because like every time we've done it so far, we started with Rick, and then we moved to CJ, and now we're talking to you, and it feels like every time it feels like a mutually beneficial thing, and it's fun, and it gets good conversation going. So it's definitely something we want to see more of in the future. But thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate I think we hit a viewership high here, so definitely appreciate you guys popping in, and have a great day.